We shared a great corned beef cook-up on our last night in Wuruna with new Tassie friends Carol and Barry before farewelling them and the lake and heading on. Next stop, Mount Morgan. This is another one of Norm's grandfather John Hingston Buckeridge's churches. St Mary's at Mount Morgan.
This one has been added here.
With a timber roof again. Yeah. And the timber dome at the front, half dome. Oh wow. Here's Norm with the communion cup that was donated by the Mount Morgan gold mine, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I mean, it needs a little bit of repair on the front. You can see the little lamp. See that never goes out. See the little,
Yes, in the hanging from that roof.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like a lamp, but it's like it used to be, I suppose, years ago.
Probably,
you know,
originally.
kerosene or whatever, but
Yeah.
now it's just an electric light.
Yeah. Wow, that's a beautiful arch, isn't it? Or dome, or whatever you might call that. Yeah, half dome, yeah. And the windows are pretty too.
All made out of Mount Morgan bricks, you know.
Oh, right.
All like gold mine.
Yeah.
And the old Sonic Hall across the road.
Yeah, we were wondering about that. Yeah.
That's the same, yeah.
Here's the bell. Well, isn't that good? We're very lucky to be shown through the church by Gerhardt, who rents the house next door and has the key.
Mum was not impressed. Dad took a bit of time to get home from work, so the son would fill up this billy can of beer and run it to Dad on the mine. It was so Mum could get Dad home early to have dinner served back on time and to stop him lurking around at the hotels. Well, that was the intent. Who knows how successful it really was. So 4 hotels still trade in Mount Morgan today. We'll come across those. In fact, one is on our left on the highway as we turn. It's called the Grand Hotel, and it was built back 1901. The Grand has meals available and rooms available there. The Mafeking Bell. Now, Mafeking, a town in South Africa, held under siege for a number of months in the Boer War. They built the bell to commemorate the relief of Mafeking, made of copper pennies donated by the Mount Morgan school children. So it's part copper and part tin. It weighs 570 kilograms.
This swing bridge was built 10 years ago by the army. We're going for a little wander across, getting picked up on the other side, hopefully. Australia Day floods, this was right up flooded too. The Dee River. Mount Morgan Community Garden. Yes. Lovely fresh veggies.
To the right, Morgan Street by the 1950s. If you look on the right corner, see the Dons are on the roof. That is our historical museum. It is definitely worth the visit inside. Town and mine memorabilia. And it was set up there in 1983, run by volunteers. On our right hand side is our Leichhardt, the old 91. Beers available and rooms available there. Even the old horse rail can still be seen on our right hand side. If you look on the right, this creek building is now up for sale. It was our men's Buffalo Lodge in December 1933. They still regularly meet in Mount Morgan in a different location. They were known as, and still are known as, the Royal Antediluvians Order of the Number 49 Lodge of the Buffaloes. So it is so much simpler to say the Buffs, and they did a lot of charity work.
From the lookout at Tim's Lookout at Mount Morgan. Mountain of gold was being mined from over there. I wonder if they've left any little free samples lying around.
So Queensland Government Department of Natural Resources and Mines now manage that mine site for rehabilitation. There's no active mining at the moment, but the government's there to clean up the problem from the early mining companies. So they've made those dams to catch any runoff because it is acidic on the mine, that rock. And they contain all that water that needs to be treated up in the mine open cut. Then they release it clean back to the river.
Still up on Tim's Lookout, and I've just noticed that we can look across to St Mary's Church, the church that Norm's grandfather, John Hingston Buckeridge, was the architect of. The big square building on the right is the Masonic Hall, and then you can see the Anglican church there over there through the trees on the left.
This building is of local brick, 1897 to 1902, designed by an architect and builder of Mt Morgan Gold Mining Company and a local man, Thomas Corns. So if you have a look on our right here, we have a tower coming out behind the fence. This is it originally. They had many of these towers as a ore transportation. It's called an aerial tramway. In 1888, very innovative for its day to get the gold ore from a mountain higher than that chimney. 60 ore buckets were connected to 3/4 of a mile of cable. A full load of ore would go down, gravity fed, take the empty load back up, and around it would go.
This is where they're treating the contaminated water from the mines.
Look on the top is part to get back to the open cut, and through pipelines you'll see what looks like waterfall effects. So there's one under the chimney on the dirt wall of the open cut. So that water is being contained in this open cut pit and then goes out through the treatment plant. This was empty once upon a time. It was 322 metres deep. It was the deepest man-made hole in the Southern Hemisphere in 1981.
We're at Clearwater Van Park out of Yepoon on the recommendation of Sam. There's our van, home at Clearwater's Van Park for a couple of days. We've come to the singing ship and it's singing its little heart out. Can you hear it, or is the wind too loud? Now you can hear it without the wind. Gosh, the ocean is a browny colour today. We've got strong winds blowing, hence the singing ship singing its heart out. Looking over towards the Keppel Islands. We're having a look at this. Definitely not blue water today. This is fascinating rock, isn't it? We're heading back to camp near the causeway, between Causeway and Kinka, and the tide's right out at the moment. Here are some boats that are not going anywhere for a while. The old monsoon. There they are, I've got them. There. That's what's making that raucous noise. The curlews.